Okay, this week we're looking at blade work. So we have pretty much whole boats because we're looking kind of individually what blade work is happening in terms of when we're squaring, and then obviously if we're doing it as a whole boat. Here we go.
All right, so if you look at your blades, kind of just check out when they start to square. So when you start seeing them going from the feather to the square, and when they finish. So we're looking at those two things, and then that's individually, and then overall, try to look at like all the ports at once and see if the timing is there together or not. Okay, so Bella, you're just squaring at the last bit, so pretty much your outside hand is probably almost over your rigger. Well, no, that one was a little bit better. So right, it was like the beginning of your rigger instead of starting beforehand over your knees. So it's a bit late.
EJ, kind of the same thing. Hands already out over the rigger, not fully square quite yet.
And then, let's see, Michaela and Emma. Michaela, usually you're earlier than that, but you were late on this particular day. It's probably because you were following the other ports in front of you, but and I know that it was down to port a little bit, which makes it more difficult, but it looks like you have room there where you could have started that square sooner. And Emma, let's watch that. You start it at a good point, but it finishes a little late. So if you could just finish squaring it up a little bit sooner, then you can get that blade more direct to the water. Because look, it goes up.
Yeah.
And then, so yeah, just think about being done sooner. So those blades, all they have to do is go in the water.
And then big picture, just looking at kind of where the earliest square up is happening. And then are we all managing that together? All right, starboard side.
Is this the same? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, same boat.
So Faye, this is a really pretty picture. Adelaide, Sophie, and Louisa. So looking at individually when you start the square and when it's finished. Faye, that was decent. It's pretty good. Adelaide, you're starting it, but then it's a super slow process, so then it's not squaring till the very end there. Sophie, you kind of just do yours really quick at a certain point before you get to the benchmark. So the good thing is you get it fully squared so you're ready for the catch, but you kind of do it in one quick motion instead of in the flow with the leading starboard type of thing.
It's like a flip catch in your top quarter.
Yeah.
Except you have a little more room to go before you're hitting the water.
And then Louisa, not bad. Could maybe have been finished a little bit sooner, so all you have to do is take the weight off your oar handle to get that blade in, but that's pretty good. And you're not usually a starboard, so it's good. That's impressive. So looking at the boat as a whole, so Faye does a good job of rolling up. And if you look at all four starboards kind of at the same time, you'll see the timing is not happening. The square is not happening at the same time. It's a little bit discombobulated.
So it's like Faye, Louisa, Adelaide, then Sophie. Kind of in that order, finding that full square.
Yeah. And we'll have this at full speed later so you can kind of see what that timing looks like when it's even sped up a little bit more. Good. So I think it's pretty obvious. That's why we're not talking a lot. We also got this shot of each boat looking from the coxswain point of view. And so you can see whether or not things are happening at the same time, whether it looks like the blades are starting to square at the same time, what the blade work looks like. And you'll notice here it's a different thing happening with almost every single blade. I see maybe like 4 blades total matching throughout the boat, like some of the time. But I think you guys will notice that timing and blade work and stuff doesn't look like it's in sync. Yeah, so like I was starting to say, it's pretty self-explanatory, this video. That's why we're not saying a lot. You can clearly see it plain as day, just letting you guys observe what you're doing.
And it's just a means of finding that place together.
This is the four. Olivia, Karina, and Trinity, and Delphi. Okay. So Olivia, you're doing a nice job of working on trying to get the blade squared up. You kind of do it pretty quickly.
Kind of the same way Sophie does.
Yeah, where it's just kind of like, you know, in a certain instant, it's done. The good thing is you're prepared for the catch. A blade is squared up and ready. But you could be a little bit more relaxed about it. Like, just let it be a gradual thing. Trinity, you're a little bit late there.
Kind of last minute full square. There's an attempt made, and then it's last minute getting that square.
And it's partially because your blade's dragging on the water, so then you don't feel like you can square it up until that last minute, and then the blade has to go up in the air for you to have room to get it square. Yeah. So this is the four from the coxswain, well, not this coxswain's point of view, but from the stern. You can see, check the timing across all four blades. So Olivia, of course, is squared up way earlier, and then this, everybody, all the timing is totally different. So 4 different things happening, and that's one of the reasons it was probably hard to set. But the handle heights are a little bit wonky too here. Starboard side, Karina and Delphi checking out individually kind of when you start your square and when it gets finished. Karina, it's a little bit late, so you probably should have started a little sooner, ended a little sooner. You have a nice gradual thing going on, but you need to start the whole process a little bit earlier. And Delphi, you don't do it till the very last second, so that's a flip catch. So you need to give yourself room off the water so that blade isn't hitting along the top, and you have room to actually square it up before you get to the catch. And we'll just let this play out so you can just see it. So it's clear as day. You can see what needs to happen for that to change.
You can kind of watch, we were talking about between the knees and the rigger, that whole process should begin and kind of end.
Okay.
JV.
Alice and Audrey and Paige and Holly on this port side, checking yourself individually for when you start the square and when it finishes. Paige tends to, actually this looks better, but so sometimes Paige does it a little too soon, but right here it looks pretty good. She's starting it, it's done, then it goes in. Maybe could finish it a little bit earlier, but I don't want to say that to you, Paige, because then you're going to speed it up even more, and usually you're earlier than that. Alice, this is better than normal. Usually you start later, so I think you were thinking about it, which is good. It could be finished, so you see how it like kind of clicks into place that last second. It could be fully square a little bit earlier. Audrey, you're doing the same thing, waiting to the last second to get it fully square. So it's like that last little blip at the end when it should just be ready. So all you have to do is go to the water. Sorry, Holly, I didn't get to you. So this is Isabel, Sam, Amanda, and Lena. Watching when your square starts and when it's finished.
So Isabel, a little bit of that same thing, waiting till that last minute. There's a little bit of a start, then that last minute you're finishing it.
Sam, pretty good. That was pretty good. You're starting it over your knee. It's finished. You might be doing it a little fast. It might kind of be just, instead of feeling a little more gradual about it, it's kind of just bloop. But you're ready. and you're thinking about it, so it's good. Amanda, start a little late, finish a little late, and so that blade goes up in the air before you go to the catch. So if you're prepared a little bit earlier, then all you have to think about is that blade going right in. That was a better stroke.
From what I can see from this side, Holly, it looks like there's, again, that last minute preparation, last little minute to get it totally square.
Lena, starting there, takes a while, and then not bad. I think maybe you could just speed up the process of it getting fully square, like as you're pressing those knuckles forward and getting that pressure on it. Just finish it maybe a fraction of a second sooner, but it's not bad. All right, from the stern. That's a cool shot. It looks cool. It's like a drone or something. So just looking at the blade timing and what's going on throughout the boat as you go down. So you'll see a lot of different timing going on there. Okay, so there's blades turning at different times, finishing at different times. Whose is that one? That second one? Audrey. Audrey, you'll notice how late you're squaring compared to everybody else. See that? They're all ready, and at the last second, your blade wasn't even fully square when it started entering the water. And that's losing a huge amount of your power, because if you get that locked on square, it's going to be way better than worrying about it at the last second. And I guess, Holly, we can see you from here, too. Not bad.
Not bad.
Yeah. And usually I feel like you're pretty good about that. Yeah, so just, some timing issues going on there a little bit with everyone doing it at the same time. Is that
That's it.
Oh,
That's
those were,
all of them.
yeah, we had so few people there. So there were a lot of people we didn't get, but hopefully everyone learned something from that by watching other people as well. And we'll also have this at full speed, so nice short video today.
Yay.